The broadcast
Okay,
is
and we're
live.
live. Welcome again to the show that I can never remember the name of because I think that is now its official new name. Richard is officially a spinning white dot? Nope. Richard's in for the second time. Oh, look,
Hey.
Richard, you can see yourself.
Oh, now it's back to one. I was worried of seeing double there. I was like, I haven't had that much to drink yet.
Right? You should start. So welcome, my fellow awesome people that don't want to talk about the crap that's going on in the world and just want to talk about Rally, because the world is kind of messed up right now and it's fucking depressing as hell. So anyway, everything's reversed. Okay, so Dylan's back. Richard, thank you for coming back. Matt, Bob, way over there, and then Steve. Steve's got a wicked cool car that we are going to talk about.
Yeah,
we talked about him last week. In fact,
that
was the whole thing. Was we got arguing about like whether or not any Toyotas that were all-wheel drive ever came with the 6-speed, and I was like, yeah, the Tercel did, and people didn't believe me. And then I brought up the chassis, and next thing I know, someone's linking pictures of this guy's car. Here's Tercel Steve.
I've brought you up at least like 3 times in these chats of your car, and I keep showing your car.
The build looks so good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
It is.
But so Steve, as everybody that comes on to here, I don't know. Tell us how you decided rally was the thing that completes your world.
Well, it all started. So I used to work at Honda R&D out in Columbus, Ohio. So they have a rally team. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with them. It's a really cool program because all the costs and everything are covered other than hotels, but like they pay for the entry fees, the cars are paid for. It's really cool. And in exchange,
was Jordan one of the drivers for that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember because it was him and the other guy that used to race a Mazda, and we used to compete for the Mazda money until he switched to the Honda.
Nice. Yeah. So like that was a really cool program, and it made it really easy to get into rally, right? Because it's an expensive sport. So, I just started volunteering on the team a little bit. Went and did service for the guys at Oregon Trail 2-3 years ago. I can't remember, and was basically hooked after that, right? So. After that, I don't even think I co-drove actually before hopping in the driver's seat. My first event was SOFR 2018, maybe, in a bone stock Honda CRZ, the hybrid.
Oh yeah,
hybrid, because it's the weird electric motor assist manual conventional thing.
It was the one I drove was a CVT. It was terrible. But that was fun. It was still super fun though, right? Like you're still ripping the car. It was. I mean, with no prior experience with other cars, yeah, right? So, but then my second event was Summer Snowdrift in our K-swapped CRZ. That thing's awesome, actually, for real. Like as a K20 out of a RSX.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So, did a couple events with them. I ended up moving to Denver about 8 months ago. My girlfriend got a really good job opportunity here, so we decided to make the jump. And since I've been here, decided, well, I'm going to start, doing rally stuff like for real. So I decided to build a car, as you've seen.
Yes.
Did all the work myself. I've done quite a bit of fabrication in my life prior to this, like in college and stuff. So it was all fairly straightforward. Doing the cage and all that is just kind of a bit of a learning curve.
Some of those suspension components, though, you have fabbed look really good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very envious of some of that stuff.
I'm going
to have to friend you on Facebook or something so I can see this, because I have no contact.
I've been following along on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Yeah. So I actually only really post on Instagram for this build. It's called Verve Racing.
Yeah. Hold on.
I didn't want to annoy my friends with
that's the whole point of Facebook.
Really? The whole voice is just obnoxious.
Is it Verve Racing?
It might be. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it is.
Oh yeah, there it is. Look at that hot shit box.
Oh yeah,
that is majestic. God damn.
She was clean. No, she wasn't that clean. She was pretty rusty, but by Colorado standards. I lived in Ohio. I know what actual rust looks like, but yeah, I mean, for those of you that haven't seen it though, it's got beams from a Toyota Altezza RS200, just bone stock. I've got the sweet bed sheet air filter on there for now. I've been kind of putzing around the neighborhood. I just got it drivable about 3 days ago. So,
we talked a little bit beforehand, but I want to bring up. So the engine's pointing the wrong way for it to be an all-wheel drive Tercel.
That's correct. So, actually, though,
wait, I thought the all-wheel drive Tercels were still forward.
They are.
They are. Okay, yeah.
This
one's too early for the transverse.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Subaru, sort of, except the front diff comes up under the oil pan from the factory setup.
Right.
But
it's more like a GTR then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, except it doesn't go through the oil pan.
Just like a GTR.
Just like a GTR.
Just a 60 crank horsepower GTR. Yeah.
Yeah. They stole that straight from Toyota.
Yeah. No, but because I put this engine in here, there was no room for the sway bar. And on this car, the sway bar acts as the tension rod on the front suspension. It's really dumb. So then I was like, okay, well, now I have to make a full custom front suspension, right? I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it under here, but
probably.
Anyway, it's a conventional tension rod now. Just kind of, added tension rods, deleted the sway bar, obviously, because who cares?
I run a sway bar on a rear wheel.
Yeah.
Well, you're also weird, Matt.
I know. No, I've always ran a front sway bar on rear wheel drive cars.
Honestly, if I could, I would, but it doesn't fit. So
you could figure something. I mean, like they got those like big torsion rod things with you can do arms.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have to make a slot in the oil pan. I'm like, come on, Matt. Just no sway bars. You don't need bars.
Yeah,
sway bars, they're overrated.
So then this is
look at all that room.
This is all very typical for you rear wheel drive like Volvo guys and stuff. Got the
towers.
Yep. Got some link boxes. I don't know if you can see in there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Equal length parallel links. It's got a Ford 8.8 out of an Explorer under here.
Sure, why not?
Yep.
You running just a single Panhard, or you got like a crazy 4-link, or what?
It is a 4-link with a single Panhard, so lots of side-to-side movement.
Excellent.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Yep.
If it doesn't feel like your ass isn't attached, you're not doing it right.
Exactly.
Right?
I figure if it feels really bad, I can make a Watts link later, but I mean, there's no point right now.
Well, and I think you can get like a bolt-on Watts link for the 8.8 or something.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
the cover.
At this point, like I've already custom made everything, so
might as well just add one more to the stack.
Yeah. Pretty typical, normal cage, whatever, nothing special.
Did you build the cage yourself?
I did. Yep. I made the mistake of TIG welding the whole thing, and it took forever. But I'm kind of happy I did it, but I don't know that I would again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of 50-50 on that. I mean, like there's the expeditiousness, there's the amount of heat soak on the metal, there's whether or not you provide enough filler.
But then,
I remember when the Nameless guys built.
Big,
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say the gussets I had given up by that point. Those are all MIG'd, but
I just remember watching the Nameless guys build the BRZ, and they had 3 guys welding on it at once, and like one person's feet are out the window and they're upside down under the dash trying to TIG the backside of that.
Yeah.
And like I think John duct taped the pedal to his boot so he could just put it against anything and run the pedal.
Great idea. Oh my god.
So like he put it against the roof of the car and work it, or to put it against the 2-post lift and work it, or the door, or the
I do remember that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like dying in there trying to weld some of those, like upside down on my back using my elbow on the pedal. Awful.
Yeah, no, I'm all about the MIG.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot stack beautiful dimes, but
doesn't matter. As long as they're
I
strong.
can weld some dirty ass fucking metal with my MIG.
just spatter it on.
Yeah, just if you need more, just put more on. Well, that's freaking awesome. Okay, so you're driving. So what? I mean, all right. So I will be completely honest. I am like probably the worst person when it comes to like keeping track of rallies.
Sure.
Even because we're essentially spoiled up here.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
I don't really venture outside of my little bubble.
Yep.
And I'm okay with that. So what is down near you?
So there is as far as ARA goes, there's Rally Colorado up in Rangeley. That's 5 hours from here, up in the northwest corner of Colorado.
Right.
The next closest event is 100 Acre Wood out in Missouri, which is 12-hour drive. But there is a hill climb series here that's really awesome. They run kind of what Pikes Peak used to be. It's all dirt roads up mountains. It's awesome. And they do a few different events around Colorado during the season. So
Excellent.
I'm actually volunteering they run one on one of the stage roads in Rangeley actually next weekend. So we'll be out there getting our feet wet, at least I've never been to one of their events, so I figure I should volunteer first.
Yeah, that's
figure it out,
I always called it like paying it forward.
Yes.
When I wasn't able to rally, like I would volunteer and I would help.
Well, especially for you guys, you have so many events so close.
Oh, I know. Like, I mean, like every other weekend we're tripping over an event. Oh, Jesus, there's an event. Well, I mean, yeah, we're spoiled. I'm not gonna lie. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we just got Canada right above the border, and there's a couple of events
hat.
there. What?
It's a lovely hat. Canada. It's America's hat.
It's just a terrible dad joke. Completely.
I'm like, it's Monday. It's a true blue Monday for me.
It's first Monday because by Friday it'll be fifth Monday.
What?
In our office, we've decided that every day is Monday, and so you've got first Monday, second, third, fourth, fifth Monday. You have Monday Eve, Monday Eve, and then return to Monday.
Sure, why not? No, that sounds like
it's Monday. Because every damn day just feels like a Monday lately. Oh my god.
No, it really is. It's like day 47 of April.
Monday 372 in 2.5 months. I don't know how that happened, but it did.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So what kind of all right? So what kind of time frame do you think for you being done?
And what will be your first event you'll take it to?
First event, definitely Rally Colorado. It will be there. I'm hoping to do at least one rally cross before that to just kind of shake it down a little bit.
That's smart.
Do you have a good way to test your cooling? Like maybe block your entire radiator with cardboard and go do some hill climbs and see if it won't blow up? Because
the radiator is huge for this car. I fit like the most massive radiator I could possibly find. But I'm still worried about overheating because every rally car.
I didn't make it to Colorado this last year. I was getting ready to make a trip to Scotland, and I didn't think it would be wise for me the weekend before I left for Scotland to be in a rally car in Colorado. So I unfortunately had to tell AJ a hard pass in the event. But the recap I got from it sounded absolutely miserable.
Yes. It's a hot event from what I've heard. Almost every year.
So how far away is like Portland from where you're at?
It's pretty far. I can't remember. I want to say like 17 hours.
It's a ways.
I would love to do. I would probably drive up for Olympus, honestly, if I was going to make the trip up. But I haven't ever been on stage on either one of those events. I've only ever done service. So I know that OTR is just super fast.
It is.
According to Google, it is 19 hours from Portland to Denver.
Yeah,
wow.
It's far.
OTR turned it into kind of a drag race once it went out to Duford.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have some really beautiful roads out like Tillamook area.
Sure.
But
it's kind of the feeling I got. So Olympus seems a little bit more technical.
Yeah,
which is more what
you
I
really can't go wrong with Olympus or Tour de Forest. Well, I'm just saying, like, so if you ever decide to make the venture up here, let us know and we'll figure it out. So,
absolutely.
Give you a place to stay, whatever accoutrements and support you might need.
Great.
Sure.
You will be in well company with oddball things like
the
that.
Northwest, like I feel like we really do embrace the weird cars out here. There's a very eclectic rally community, and like the weirder your shit you brung, the more love you get.
Absolutely. Yep. It's just in general, not even in rally. Like all the cars up there are weird.
Yeah. No,
all the Tercels on Earth are either in the Seattle area or Portland area, or down here in Denver. There's a few, but like I said, I have 4 of them now. So like,
so you have the rally car and 3 parts cars.
Yeah, kind of. One of them's
Yeah.
a daily, but I would totally make that a parts
So you have
car.
3 parts cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have 3 parts.
Yes.
Now, mind you, when I first started, I started in a Legacy, and I used to drive a Legacy wagon. I used to bring the Legacy wagon to events
Ooh.
if I ever needed parts.
Oh yeah.
Like everything is a parts car.
Oh no, the plan is to use the daily Tercel as the recce car for sure. Like that's already in the works. So
Nice.
unfortunately, this car has a Ford rear end. It has Ford Mustang front knuckles, a Ford Mustang rack. Like just 'cause it's like not even Tercel anymore. But
Did you get like UN approval for that? Because I'm pretty sure that we're getting into like weird genetic modifications now. I'm pretty sure there's unilateral sanctions going on about that.
remember how your build was going to cascade? That's what happened here. Like when I had to lower the subframe right to fit the beams. Then your bump toe is all wrecked. So then you need to lower the outer tie rod attachment point of the knuckle. Can't do that easily, right? And then also the brakes are terrible on the Tercel. So like, might as well knock out two birds with one stone and
this is your stereotypical scope creep.
Yes.
Yes. I'm well aware of that in the what I do for us.
But keeping that in mind, I did try my best to, there's a lot of custom parts, but like I tried to make them as simple as possible because it really sucks when you have to make like 10 spares of something, or whatever. You need to have spares. So
Yeah.
That was the Rich Olmsted line: custom solutions, custom problems.
Yes. The only thing that's going to be difficult is the front struts because these are the universal Bilstein inverted
They don't
struts.
make anymore.
They don't make it.
Well, Streetwise makes the housings. So that's what I got.
Still makes the insert.
Yeah, so I got that from him. It was a pretty cool kit, actually.
Nice.
But they're expensive, right? I'm not going to buy that as another spare. I'm probably going to like hack up one of the stock front dampers and like make it so it'll bolt on just to finish an event if we need it. But
well, if you go source some like early 2000 STI stuff.
That's a good idea. The top mounts are now Subaru, so
the STIs were inverted.
Yep, that's what I run in the front of the Mazda.
Wait, you don't even have to go early either, because all the STIs still inverted. You can just get any STI struts.
Yeah. But they're just any of that you can just peel off the tabs.
And just weld some new ones on. Call it good.
Yeah, that's what I did on the front of mine. It was one of those like I happened to have them laying around, and I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Now I question whether that is the best idea.
Don't question it. Just stick to it. I mean, if you start questioning it, then you'll regret it. Don't.
I've already
no regrets. No regrets.
Everything I've ever done on this car, like 14 times over. So. Okay, so excellent, Steve. I want to see your car on stage by next year.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be for sure at Rally Colorado. We really want to go to LSPR as well because I love that event.
Excellent.
So we're going to try to make it up there as well in
That's
October.
Awesome. Well, let us know when you come up to Olympus because we'll figure it out.
Yep.
Okay, so to the comments. Then this is what you're missing, Steve, by being on an iPad.
I'm actually on my laptop. How do I?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Should I just go to the YouTube?
Well, okay. So if you go to the YouTube, pop out the chat, and then close the YouTube page because there's like a hefty delay in it.
I'm just not going to.
Anyways, Cody was wondering if you guys have any turbos, spare turbos.
I already responded.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I also might, and I think I have some rebuild kits as well.
There you go. Okay, so Matt Bob. Hi, Matt Bob.
Hey.
Coming from the engine bay of his GTX, of one of how many now do you have?
GTX 5.
5 GTXs in the city. Still
GTXs.
Are you still at the same place like the last time I came over?
No, so I actually moved out further west from that. I'm now sitting inside of my 4-car detached shop.
Oh,
excellent. How far west?
On the other side of Hazeldale Avenue.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Not like a straight shot.
Cool. 4-car shop.
If you look past all my spares, there's also a heater in here.
Oh, you bastard. That is not okay. Now I don't even want to talk to you anymore.
To be fair, I have a vent in the output plenum of my AC, so that when I'm working in the garage in the summer, I can open it up and have an air-conditioned garage.
I have a fan.
I have a fan.
A really bad fan. Like one of the oscillating ones that makes clicky noises.
Excellent. I popped up into the crawl space, and it's very well insulated up there, too, because it was hot as balls out there.
Excellent. All right, so tell us your story, sir. How did you get into rally?
Mm-hmm. So in about 02, 03-ish, I went out to OTR when it was still out in the Trask area and watched a bunch of idiots who are now my friends throw themselves around the woods. One of those cars I watched that day, so it must have been 02, is actually in my possession now.
Mark Tabor's old car.
Yeah. I know that's the last time it ran because I have the logbook and there's nothing after 02. So it was an 02.
Yeah, that was when Mark switched to running the Acura for national production class.
That's right.
Yeah. And then after that, I answered a special stage,
probably
classified ad, I think.
Yeah, it was like early internet dating.
Yeah, that's old.
I'm still on special stage. I love that site. I seriously wish like it would make a comeback. But anyways, carry on.
And some moron decided to let me call notes in his car.
He really did. God, he was fucking stupid. Oh my God.
That was Matt Weaver.
Oh yeah.
And we ran 09 Wild West, I think was our first event together.
Yep.
Which year was the projectile vomiting?
I did not vomit in Matt's car.
I did not vomit in my car.
I thought that was Matt's car.
No. We puked in Paul's car. No, it was my brother-in-law who puked in my car. And there's a beautiful YouTube video of just the audio of it. It's amazing.
Was he wearing a full face helmet?
No, he was not. And he brought a garbage bag.
That was nice of him.
Yes. Catherine, was it Henson? Is that her last name? The lady who co-drives for Mark.
Catherine Hansen, yes.
Yeah. She did a co-driving class where my brother-in-law took it from her, and she's like, always bring a garbage bag because you just never know. And he brought a garbage bag. And the next time I saw her, I gave her a hug and I said, thank you for saving the inside of my car. But
I think I only ran the one event with you with a garbage bag. After that, I switched to Ziploc bags.
Yeah, that was
so you can close it.
I just got a patch, and that solved the problem.
Yeah, patches will do it too. Wild West 08 and then Mount Hood 08 was.
I think it was on 09.
Was it 09?
I think so. I just looked at the trophies from that year.
Anyways,
we came in second place overall of the year in Group 5.
In Group 5, so you showed up to 2 events.
Yep, we finished both events.
Yeah, it's like the limited production now, or limited whatever they're called, limited 2-wheel drive.
Yeah,
you just show up and you're going home with a trophy.
That was how PGT used to be.
That was PGT. Yeah. In Group 5. So, cool. So then after your shoe melted in my car, and you almost.
That was the only time I was ever nauseous with you.
Yeah. You almost puked.
Because RX-7 exhaust.
Because really hot RX-7 exhaust.
Is that the same as the shoe melting?
Well, yeah. So the exhaust was very close to the shell and his foot.
Rotary things,
yeah, rotary things.
Yeah, my foot wasn't on the footrest; it was next to the transmission tunnel.
Yeah, and it started melting, and that lovely, burning rubber, plastic, whatever, started coming through the incredibly hot passenger compartment, and Matt made me pull over. So he could get out and just start like
Just
doing the,
breathe
like,
air that was not shoe.
Yeah, it was. And eventually I was like, okay, get back in the damn car because we have to go to service. So,
Yeah.
but we did well. We did like, Jesus, what were we, like 8th overall or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
I was not upset with how well we did that event. So,
No.
and then
That was your first event in that car too, wasn't it?
No, Wild West was my first event. So I only did 2
that's where my
events.
shoe melted.
Melting shoes. Okay, so then
that was the RX-7, right? So apparently Mazdas are the shoe melters because my GTX melted Phil's shoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And when that RX-7 went off to Alex, it still had the melted shoe spot.
It's undercoating.
Yeah. Okay, so then after we parted ways, then what?
I feel like I took a little break from competing for reasons.
Man.
Oh, I was traveling a bunch for work. That's what it was. I was out of town like 90% of the time. And then when that stopped, I started co-driving for Phil in a GTX. And I'm pretty sure the only reason he let me in the car was because I had a spare car that I brought to events.
You were able to work on the car was the important.
Yeah, exactly. I was able to work on the car. I didn't have to think about it. I knew every part on that car.
Right.
A true asset to the team.
I was a true asset to the team, exactly.
Co-driver and service chief.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yes, Cody, GTXs are bullshit.
Majestic, delicious, divine bullshit.
Aren't all Mazdas really?
Kind of.
Yeah.
The 90s proteges, and not the all-wheel drive good ones, but like the earlier like two-wheel drive crap boxes, those, no.
Those are
No.
Not acceptable.
So then you puked in Paul's car. You were
I
on
did
top.
puke in Paul's
you
car.
were- What were you? Top Gear? No. What show were you? Like they got the back.
That was Top Gear USA,
Yeah.
and they're filming. That was the year it was the Nameless Rally, I think, right? Instead of Olympus.
Yep.
And yeah, I was changing a tire or checking tire pressure or checking lug nuts.
I still remember the year after that was the year that I walked into the RA trailer wearing my Free Olympus shirt. And JB Night looked at me and just shook his head, and it's like,
Yeah. Well, I loosely understand the story. I probably couldn't tell the story, but it was like names and copyrights and yada yada. And
Yeah.
people
I could go into it, but I'm not going to
It's
because
It's fine.
reasons.
So they called the Nameless Rally.
Yeah, basically it was that the sanctioning body decided to say that, well, if you go somewhere else, you can't use that name because we own the name, even though they don't.
They don't.
Even though it's been around since the 80s.
Even though that the rallies themselves are property of the organizers and not property of the sanctioning bodies.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when you're a national, it's a little different. And there was language in the contracts that basically was like, well, if you call it this exact thing, well, that's part of the championship, and you can't use that name because it's property of the championship.
Right.
But it's usually if you say something like the event round 3 of the Rally American National Series or whatever it is. Sorry, this was years of being, on the boards and organizing and.
No, it's interesting. I mean, it's really strange to think that. I guess in my head, I don't think of the organizer and the sanctioning body as being separate from each other, but obviously they are.
And that's something I would like to beat into every rallyist's head.
Yes.
Is that the sanctioning body is not the organizer. And so when you see differences between events, that's not, inconsistencies in the sanctioning body, or when you see things that are done really well at one event and not done well at another, it's not, RA or ARA's fault. That can be the organizer's fault. Yeah. But at the same time, it's that flexibility that makes the events unique, is that the organizers can truly put their own spin on, what they want the event to be, how they want it to run. And in a lot of cases, the sanctioning bodies might only bring a couple people to the event, and they just show up the day of and are ready to go. Whereas the organizers put in months and months and months and months and months of volunteer dedication time. Like, none of us get paid to organize rallies. I mean, there might be a couple people in some other groups that do, but Like nobody in the ORG gets paid to put on Oregon Trail or Mount Hood or anything else. Like we do it because we love rally.
Right.
So kind of this is probably a can of worms question, but the expense of an event, what is the majority of that expense paying for?
It depends on the event entirely.
Okay, so
Like,
let's use OTR for example.
OTR, I mean, I don't want to necessarily say anything that I'm not supposed to,
Don't
but there's a lot of road cost.
Okay.
There's a lot of event space cost. Like PIR is not cheap for us to basically have exclusive rights. We're basically buying PIR and then paying them that plus a percentage of gate fees so that we can have exclusive use of it. Other events like, for example, Olympus, their road costs are, as far as I understand it, quite low because they've got a really good relationship with Green Diamond, and they sort of just like, well, these roads, we're going to fix anyway, so go run your event on these roads. Whereas we go to a place where like, well, we want to use these roads, and like Hood River County comes back and says, all right, $3,000 a mile, and you can use that road. I mean, sanction is probably, I don't know, I don't have the numbers off the top of my head. I remember it used to be like, I'd say probably 10% of the entry fee.
Oh, wow.
And that covers the sanction, the insurance, the national championship costs, all that stuff. Like it really though depends on the event. Every event is different. Every event has their own budget. The sanctioning costs are generally fixed. It's somewhere between like a per car or a per event. That's the fee that the sanctioning body charges, and anything beyond that is all just event cost. So I mean, like Mount Hood Rally, some of the years that we ran, double rainbow. In fact, thank you.
Right.
I missed that event so much.
Where's the now you know?
That event, I mean, we were really lucky for so many years. That event was so cheap to put on. I mean, that was part of why entry fees were so low. Was our road costs were insignificant. We rented the Parkdale Community Center. That was like a $400 rental for the whole day. We did the awards banquet sometimes in the parking lot. There was a very few costs for that event. That was part of why it was so cheap. But when you want to put on something like Oregon Trail, where we have really big like Oregon Trail, we're trying to make it a show. We want it to be an experience that people remember. Oh my God, PIR was so awesome. All these cars all over the place. There's stuff to do and stuff to see, and we want it to feel like you're going to an IMSA event or whatever. And to do that costs a lot.
Does indeed. Yeah, no, it's stupid expensive. I really wish I would have some days gotten into a more affordable hobby, like, I don't know, hardcore drugs.
I love that meme about the whole, like, teach your kids to love racing so they'll never have money for drugs.
Yeah.
Right?
And there's also the how do you make a small fortune in rally? Start with a large one.
Right.
Yeah.
Hole in the dirt you throw money into. Like, God damn, it's fun.
It really is when we get to do it, but
when we get to do it.
Can you imagine though the entry?
I was gonna say that's had to be my substitute for now, and it is nowhere near as good as the real thing.
It's not even close. Can you imagine what the entry for Olympus is going to be like though? Like a year's worth of pent up. Like,
I'm so glad that I already paid and I already have my Subaru discount. I registered it, me and Matt, the other Matt, back in whenever that was, February or March, that entry opened, and I was one of the first ones in the door, got us her discount, and they still have my money, so I'm assuming that I'm still entered and I don't have to pay any more money, so I'm guaranteed my spot.
I think you're good. Maybe I should just send him a check, and because I'm going to cry if I can't do something this year. I mean, I'm literally running out of things to do on my car. I am now reaching
bullshit.
No. I have officially started. Well, okay, Paul. So I've started reaching the like pandemic to-do list as like, that list that you make that's so low on the bottom, like you're like, maybe if we're stuck at home for like 3 months.
Rebuild the fuel pump wiring harness.
Well, no, it's
change out the door seals.
I do need to figure out how to make the driver's or the passenger side door not drag, but that's beside the point. But I mean, I have just like am frittering and nickel and diamond and just like, ooh, I could do this and this. and
AJ, if Matt doesn't want to run Colorado, I might go with you if you're still looking for a co-driver.
Other Matt. There's like 12 Matts in the Northwest.
There are, but only one is mine.
That's right.
Fair.
There are many Matts like it. But this
There
Matt
are
is
many
mine.
Matts, but this Matt is mine. But no, I mean,
You hear that, Turner? You're mine. I claim you.
Jesus Christ. Is he even on here?
No, well, it might be. I shared it on Facebook because you didn't.
He still heard that even if he's not on here.
Yeah, he still knew it. He just got the chills real
Yeah.
bad.
All of a sudden, his nose is itching. Like, somebody thinking about me again?
So Richard, so you started a new job today. Was that what I gathered?
Yeah, new job and super excited. These stickers arrived.
Yeah.
Aha. Look
Ooh.
out.
Now we
Also-
know where the
Spoiler alert, co-driver name change. Ta-da.
noise.
Yeah. But no rally car. It's with Steven it's at rally car update camp.
Oh, doing the
yes,
doing the
yes,
cage
yes.
updates.
Getting the
After
kids, dropping it off with Steven was, I think, a little bit like when you take your really badly behaved kid to summer camp or to day camp.
You're like, please don't judge me by the behavior of my
Yeah.
child.
It's like, I was kind of telling him
don't
about
look
how the
around
times
the
it didn't
car.
start and was probably going to start.
Look, don't look under the seats. Don't take the mud flaps off. Just do the cage
yeah,
update.
Just do the parts
lift
I've
the
asked you
hood.
to do. Don't judge me for everything else that's going on in this thing.
That's
Yeah.
one thing I'll say about Matt's car and why I enjoy co-driving for him is like I could eat off the floor of Matt's car after every event. Like he goes and details that thing, cleans it, tears it entirely apart, rebuilds it again, checks all the bolts, replaces bolts and stuff. Like I swear he's like it's SRT USA and Matt Turner.
Yeah.
Like I took a leaf blower to the inside of my car after the last event.
That's John Buffum proven.
Yeah.
That's where I learned that one too.
No, that's yeah. No, but so new job is good.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm assuming it's not of the same
No.
adventures.
Well, I'm sure he
that-
doesn't want to say too much so he doesn't lose the new job now.
Oh, sure. No, we'll talk in code. I haven't talked to him much yet, but it's not in the same field as the last one, right?
No, indeed. I work in medicine, so and it's always something interesting.
Well,
so
yeah, but I mean the last one was very interesting,
very interesting.
but not
but,
not that. That's awesome because we don't need you to do that anymore.
that's right. That's right.
That's
But yeah, what not? It's interesting. So not having the rally car, I don't know what I did before. I had the rally car. Would always have something to think about to do. But now, what do? You just
you
tidy up the
continue-
garage.
I have 2 rally cars and I still don't think about working on them.
Yeah.
Actually, I have 3.
Jesus, Dylan, you're like me.
Yeah.
You need to start making lists for when it comes home. Lists are always good.
Yeah. It may go from there, or not may go from there, but I think the next thing is an engine swap. So that'll be go from a paltry 60 horsepower to 80 horsepower, which will be a nice
Yeah.
improvement.
Well, that's like 33% more.
Yeah.
So
Or we're gonna, it's interesting. There's nobody else down here with it. Well, there are a few other rally cars down here, but there really aren't. There's not a lot happening down here.
no, you're down just far enough to where people don't go. I mean, it is what it is. So.
It is.
But so now you bought like an Impreza, right? Like
We do. We have a 2.5 RS. We did.
You're gonna build that now?
I don't. The problem is, maybe if anybody else, you have 2 project cars,
Yeah.
they suffer. They both suffer. So it's better, I think, to just have one. Because otherwise, you just
How do you explain that to people who have multiple children? Because I mean, like, I have friends with multiple children, and they're like, I love all my children equally,
Yeah.
except for Timmy. He's a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You
but
just
I mean, like, I feel like that with my
ignore them?
rally cars too.
Well, so I guess maybe you just ignore them and you just
You just have to
ignore them
spread your
equally.
love and find more love deep down. You have to learn to love your children.
That's true.
I say this as
so
a dude
weird.
with no kids, so
It's a weird-
opinion is
conversation is
bullshit,
a weird
this one.
branching. It keeps getting deeper. The conversation gets deeper.
Steve, Al is asking how much horsepower is the Tercel supposed to have?
Oh yeah.
3.
Yeah, it's about 3. Now, the Beams makes. I'm running a Link ECU, so if I get it dyno tuned and I don't tune it myself, it should be able to make around 200 at the wheels, somewhere around there, like 160 foot-pounds. That's pretty strong.
That's amazing.
I'm okay with that, yeah. Compared to the factory motor that made 63 at the crank.
Yeah, brand new and
brand new
something.
Yeah.
Oh, lose my hat.
So I'm pretty excited.
Actually, with the horsepower topic, Matt Bob. So we have an ongoing tally.
I forgot about this.
So Cody is supposed to dyno his car. With the motor that he's got in it. The NA, all-wheel drive. Do you want to put your guess in on horsepower rating?
Is it the dual cam or the single cam? I'm going to assume it's the dual cam.
That dual cam, yeah. Mind you, all-wheel drive. Probably, what was it, like 97 brand new in 89?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think, they might have been right around 90. So I'm going to go with 55.
Oh, it's an NA BP06 out of an Escort.
Escort GT, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with 55. I feel pretty good with that.
55, okay.
I trust this man's judgment. He knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah, and honestly, he's probably, well, except for Alex, who thought it was 45. But, I mean, even that's realistic. Cody is 7 at the crank. Oh, yeah, when he was new.
Yeah, brand new.
At sea level. With somebody blowing in the intake. I mean, sure.
On a nice cool day.
Yeah, it's freezing out. Steve, do you want to throw in your guess on sad little Mazda motor?
I'm just going to go with an even 51. It's not even even.
Perfect. There's nothing more even in this world
than 51. Yep.
So, there we go. And then whenever he actually gets around to it, we'll actually, I don't know what will happen. I'll send something fancy out. Somebody won my Instagram. How many cars is my car made of?
I didn't even see that. Then again, I'm old enough now. I don't know how to Instagram.
It's current tally is 17 different cars.
Wow.
How did you even count that? That'd be like.
I have an ongoing spreadsheet. Of parts in the car because the reality is if I didn't do that, I would have already forgotten.
Does that include random junkyard cars you pulled parts off of?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like key components, like not like clips or something like
not
that.
Like a switch or something. Yeah.
No. This is like I would say important parts.
Sure.
But yeah, call you Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr. Frankenstein. No, I had I don't know. I put something up on Instagram and I sent out a gift to somebody.
Walk this way.
That's right. But I did it on Facebook too. Not that anybody looks at it.
I look at Facebook and all I see is sadness.
It really is like full of sadness. We're not gonna talk about the sadness.
No, we're totally ignoring all of the problems in the world. We're talking about things that make us happy,
Just
like
ignore
turd
it.
cells, strange turd cells.
Like turd cells. Okay, so who's
That's
all
what makes
going
me
to
happy.
Olympus?
I guess in theory I am. I've registered. I paid for it.
Richard?
No.
What?
No.
Why?
Well, so is Olympus in November?
Yeah, it's taking the place of Tour now.
Well, no, Tour is in September, which is now a test day.
Which
and
is a
it's
test day, right?
It's a whole new
Potato, tomato, avocado.
potato gelato. No?
No, I think we're just going to get queued up for 2021.
All right, fair enough.
And-
Cody Crawford raised his hand, but he doesn't count. He's too small.
He doesn't care.
He's like half a person volumetrically.
Yeah. That is true. And then Matt
Your
Bob.
displacement is too small.
He just plays in bands anymore, and he doesn't do anything with rallies.
Oh, Cody thinks he has to go. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I usually go to PIR day at OTR. That's about it these days.
I know. How many times have I tried to get you back in the car?
At least 800.
Yes, at least 800. And every time he comes up with just the whole wheelbarrow full of excuses why he can't do it.
Hey, Matt, you know what excuses are? They're like assholes. Everyone has one, but we don't want to smell yours.
Yes, exactly.
That's fine.
I've offered,
let's keep doing this.
Stop making them.
I've offered him head and neck. I've offered him suits. I've offered him. I've literally said, buy your license and you can ride for free.
I know. It's
a good deal.
I'm getting closer.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're playing in bands. You're in like 12.
Not currently. I'm not doing anything. I'm only in one.
You guys aren't doing any like virtual band stuff?
We're finishing up recording, which is interesting because we're all doing it in our houses now. I'm about to finish vocals in my wife's art craft room because it's the furthest away from everyone else other than the shop, and I don't have any flat surfaces to set up all my recording gear in here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So my wife, child, and mother are all going to hear me screaming very loudly into a microphone for probably much longer than I want to admit to for doing 2 songs worth of vocals.
Is it a lot of screaming?
It's pretty much only screaming.
Oh,
like high pitched screaming, or like a guttural screaming, or somewhere in between.
Like
it's really just my voice, but shouted.
Wait, isn't that just what your voice is normally?
No, it gets much louder than this.
Oh, good God!
No, I always commented that Matt had a great co-driver voice.
He does. He really does.
Really like low baritone.
Was it you or Phil who had intercom issues one time when we were in the car?
Wasn't me.
Must have been Phil then. He could hear me.
Oh yeah, if it was me and you, there'd be no way in hell that I'd get to hear you.
In the white car at Idaho in 17, I was still running a Terrashit intercom with my Stilo helmet and Phil's Stilo helmet, and my adapter quit working, and so I had to run a whole event with my ear cups dangling out of my helmet and Phil screaming at me.
Yeah.
And he had no voice by the end of the first day, and none by the end of the second day again.
I don't think we made any adjustments, and it came back later on that same stage.
I assume he wasn't wearing a Stilo at the time.
No, I don't think so. I think we're both in
Peltors or whatever.
Peltors I think they're both Peltors.
Who even knows what those expensive ones are? I can't afford those things. Those things are ridiculously expensive. The headset is more than I spent on my entire setup.
I keep forgetting to go pull my Stilo, whatever it is, the STG30 out of the rally car, so I can sit here with my helmet on and use it as my Bluetooth communications device.
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that with mine. Yeah, that wouldn't look awkward at all.
Well, that's the problem. Is I tried to do a meeting for work with my helmet on, but I couldn't hear anything, even with my speakers cranked way up. I could just sort of hear a muffled sound, and when I was talking, apparently I was just yelling. So what I need is the interface for it, so I can actually hear in the helmet and use the mic and I can pull my visor down when I don't want to look at people, or take a nap while I'm in a meeting. Because I've got my Judge Dredd visor.
Oh yes, yeah, those things are awesome. So Dylan, are you ever going to work on any of your shit, or is that just like a lost cause?
No, I've actually started cleaning the garage so I can pull the black car out, because the black car is going to get scrapped because, well, it got Matt tabered and then it got Dylan'd. Yeah, and, I had to grind one of the control arms off and weld it back on, and it's now a permanently attached control arm again.
Sure.
So that car is that car, like the bottom of it, just looks like a hamburger. I probably used maybe 5 pounds of welding wire filling holes in the floor and cracks and seams, and it was rough. So that car, I think, is at the end of its days, which means that I have a whole 1.6 drivetrain to rehome. But then I have the white car that needs to come in the garage and pull everything out of it and rebuild it, and because broken pistons, not very good.
Generally.
No. And then, as I was mentioning earlier, like the problem is it's got the VJ23 because it's a BPD GTR, which always confuses people. They say a GTR swapped to my GTX. Like, how'd you fit that in there? Like, no, Mazda GTR. Like,
Mazda.
Cody, the miles don't apply to me anymore because in theory I have better wheel bearings now. So I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see your comment. But then I also have the GD chassis up at Nameless that I've actually kind of been starting to think about doing something interesting with. I was really on the fence about selling it, putting the money into my MR2 and the white GTX. But Matt did such an amazing job on that cage and the steam welding on that chassis that like I couldn't sell it.
Here,
hey Matt. I couldn't I don't think I could sell it for as much as it's worth. And also that car just, I mean, my favorite Subaru is still the Bug-Eye. And, so I've got a Bug-Eye. I got some bumper pods from Eric Wages. I've got to find a pair of hood pods, but I don't want to quite go full, like, I'm not doing a Stephen Red, whatever it is, S9, S12, whatever version he's building.
Whatever he's doing.
It's beautiful. It's majestic, but like I think that's a little too much. But I would love to see it like just plain white. The livery is just white. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything crazy complicated. It looks so good to me. Like I've done renderings of it, and I want to go rally that car. But I'm also having way too much fun co-driving. So that's the other thing where I'm like, I don't know. I've suggested to Matt that maybe we keep it as a chassis in the wings, but then he says, well, I've got the recce car, so if I crash this one, I can just cage the recce car and we have another GC again. So maybe someday I can convince Matt that we need to go to open class and go turbo and I don't know. I don't think he'll do it. He likes his GCs, and I like his GC. I just don't like the fact that my head is hitting the window and.
You should come sit in my car, and then you can appreciate how much room.
I've sat in an RX-7. I sat in Doug's. I did a whole rallycross with the cage over here and my head on my shoulder.
You should get a
position.
Tercels have all
my
the
head bouncing off the head cage pounding.
Oh yeah.
I may need a smaller head, but that's not the problem, Cody. I'm all torso height.
Yes, same here. It's like tiny
You
little.
are
legs.
definitely all torso height. You like I joke that I've got Dashahound legs. But you've got Yorkie legs or like Welsh Corgi.
I look like a little Yorkie when I run. It's like
It's
no.
It makes that noise even.
I just got the mental picture of Matt Weaver with the corgi butt, like the little heart on the back.
That's disturbing.
I love you, Dylan.
I love you too, Matt.
This is why you're my favorite. Well,
everyone needs a hooker in their life.
Everybody needs some hookers in your life. So, I mean, like, God, what else are we working on? I worked on a bunch of shit. I
worked on my STI some.
Oh,
and not the one that requires penicillin either. I don't know how many of you saw. Yeah, right over the head. Built too low, Block. Built too low. I don't know if any of you saw my photos on the book face or on Instagram, but I picked up a Veris Engineering aero kit for it. So the back of the car is flat bottomed now. It's got a rear diffuser on it. I've got a front splitter on it. Starting to work on actually fairly flat bottoming it. I'm going to talk to Blake. I've already talked to him a little bit, but I'm going to get the car down and have him build me a slightly bigger skid plate that kind of tie it all together and more or less fully flat bottom the car and like make it align with the front splitter and stuff. So hoping that maybe there'll be some hill climbs or at least a track day or something. I can go flog it around a little bit.
Are there any hill climbs going on?
No, they've all been canceled as far as I know.
Yeah. That's what I've seen too.
Just drive 18 hours down here and there's a few.
Ooh.
I think is Mary Hills running in October. I heard from
maybe.
I think from AJ told me that.
Is that?
Oh
yours?
yeah, that's the bottom of my car. Look at that.
Wow,
that's crazy.
That's wicked impressive.
I'm pretty impressed with their products. I mean, there were some little fitment issues and some things that were not clear in the instructions. And when I called them, they're like, "Oh, you should watch the video and not read the instructions." And I'm like, I don't sit and watch install videos on YouTube. I RTFM and I go install it. So aside from that, the install was pretty good. I'm not sure whether it's like I added a little gurney flap to my spoiler too, and I'm not sure whether like I have something aligned wrong or if it's the gurney flap, but it has really killed my mileage. I expected it to improve it slightly.
Yeah.
So I either need to make some adjustments, maybe I don't have it leveled completely or something. I don't know. So I gotta tweak on it some, really tune it in now that I've got it installed and it didn't fall out while I was driving. But it looks mean, which is really the whole point of all of this, right? It's to hard park and look, sick AF. And
you did it for the gram, really.
Yeah, you did it for the likes, yo.
For the likes. It's really
pull up, put your car up on the lifts, raise it up, then bring everybody over, then ta-da.
AJ saying Mary Hill is September 26th and 27th.
There will also be so this is important for you rallyists. So if Sovereign, well, it's not Sovereign anymore because they gave up the event, but if the ex-Sovereign, now Mary Hill Historic Hill Climb Association, whatever they're calling themselves, puts the event on, they're very welcoming to rally cars. And it's especially if you're a vintage rally car, but they will let any caged rally car run. If you decide you want to do that, let me know as we get closer. I will happily be your liaison to that group. But they have been itching to get rally cars up there to run Mary Hill, and it's very different than a traditional hill climb. Like there's not classes, there's not competition in the normal sense. It's more of here's a hill, go drive it however fast you want, and we're timing it. But crap, is it really a conflict with PFR? Because I run timing and scoring for them, or at least I have off and on for the last like 11 years now. So that will suck because I really want to go to PFR again. But so it's fun though, because it's basically just I think last year we got like 7 or 8 runs in.
That's awesome. I feel I need to go do something like that because I was like given a pair of or a set of kind of sticky-ish tires.
AJ, you have crushed me. Crushed. Discipline.
Wait, no, PFR is October 1st through the 3rd.
And Mary Hill Historic is October 3rd through 4th.
Oh, I thought he just said it was... Oh, I'm sorry.
Historic.
That's Mary Hill. The first one in September is the NHA Hill Club. The one in October is the Mary Hill Historic ex-Sovereign event.
Well, I mean, it's like basically just back to back. So
there is the big question about whether it will be allowed across the Canadian border by then, though.
Good point. True. I mean, it is October. Well, one would hope that. I don't even.
I'm not ruling anything out at this point because everything's on fire.
I'm fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. That sucks. Well, I don't know. We'll go do something. We'll rally. We'll be merry. We'll be gay. We'll do all the things that
we did casually discuss during Mike Shaw's rally cast the other day. Rebecca is suggesting possibly running Mary Hill downhill, and whether that's a terrible idea or not. And I was like, yes and no. Like, no, but yes, but maybe.
Yeah.
I could run Mary Hill downhill.
I don't know if a lot of people could.
All I know is the white GTX at least has Wilwood Dynapros on it, so I'm not worried about
brakes.
Got Wilwood Dynapros BP30 pads on there, and I'm not gonna run out of brakes soon. As long as they don't blow a brake hose off again, which was exciting at Idaho.
Right. I mean, I've got a lot of brake on the RX-7, and I would still be worried about that. So, I don't know. All right. Well, so we're all going to do the rally. We're all going to have fun, and we're all going to, I don't know, we'll see each other at some point within the next decade. Steve's going to come up to the Northwest and come do Olympus. Pinky swear on that one. You just kind of like start penciling that out. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely.
Whatever you need to make that happen, you let us know, and we'll get you up here one way or another.
Will do.
Dylan, Richard, Matt, Bob, as always, you guys are wonderful people, and I love you all. But nobody wants to stare at
Are we calling it quits after an hour? What the hell?
Well,
Did we run for like 2 hours last time?
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half last time. I don't know. Like, most people don't like staring at our ugly mugs for like over an hour.
I am beautiful and funny. Thank you for chiming in.
Right. Actually, so yeah, I guess what I should just do is just do something like that.
Just
I
do
have
the
to
rest
ask,
of
when
the
was the
thing.
last time you actually trimmed your beard, Weaver?
Right
That is
before
actually a
we
good
stayed
question.
home.
You say right before 8th grade?
Yeah, it's great. Middle school was a son of a bitch. No, right before whenever this whole thing started. So I've had one haircut that my wife did. She wanted to do some swoopy hair.
I'm cooking a mullet in the back. It's getting long.
Yeah.
Is it nice? It's not bad. I'm like a buzz cut everything kind of thing. Yeah, no, the beard's getting a little unruly, but at this point, I don't really care.
Cody, you missed out on the tour of the Turd Cell already. We did that first thing.
Yeah, seriously, Cody.
Yeah,
Where the hell were
sucker.
you?
GTX guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Actually, so the first time I ran the GTX at Trail in 2014, I was running a little bit late getting out of the house, and my crew and everybody was already at PIR and had registered everything. And so I piled all of my spares, all of my tools, all of my like clothing, my gear bag, everything in the GTX, and straight up like on the bump stops all the way to PIR.
Wait, okay, so Cody was in the garage. Cody, did you actually work on Danny's car? Wait, Danny doesn't have the car back, does he? No, I think he's working on the car still. Like,
Cody didn't. When Cody work on something? Come on.
Yeah, no, I know.
Just empty promises and
and disappointments, just nonstop, basically. Oh, holy!
Is that yes that you're a disappointment, or is that yes you worked on it?
Yes. It's just yes.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
Cody, I still love you.
Because Danny won't touch anything electrical. Because I think all things electrical scare Danny, which is scary because he like works on jet engines. Like his like dislike for working on anything mechanical.
Yet he's an aircraft mechanic.
Right. Yeah, he's an aircraft mechanic. It boggles my mind some days, but hey, we all.
Cody takes no responsibility for future fires.
As long as you put fuses in at some point.
Work does not come with a warranty.
The 30-30, the 30 seconds or 30 feet kind of thing.
Whichever occurs first.
Yeah. I mean, like, God, if you guys got stuff you want to talk about, I mean, I'm more than happy to sit around. But like, if I've had people chastise me for, you're just running it too long and blah blah blah.
I don't think any of us care. I mean,
no.
Right?
You guys are a bunch of nice people. It's a bunch of a-holes.
Don't tell other people that.
No,
I got a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Oh man.
Orem, you've been really quiet down there.
I can tell you about my.
happens.
Yeah, he's stuck in an engine bay. So
Oh yeah.
Make vroom vroom noises. Go faster, damn it.
I can fill you in on my latest dumb idea.
What's your dumb idea? I want to hear the dumb idea. Then we can call it quits.
All right. So back up several episodes ago, where I thought the idea of doing something like a straight axle Forester, a rear wheel drive straight axle Forester.
Yep.
Right. So I took that one step farther. I now want to do that in a 4-door Impreza.
Yep.
So we were going to do that. Jason and I were talking about that originally with my GD, was doing a Toyota 2GR V6 with a, I don't know, W58 or something behind it.
Yeah. Not even that. I'm just talking about like an EJ25 with a BRZ 6-speed and a Toyota 8-inch rear end. Be done with it.
Honestly, go Ford 8.8 if you're going to do it. It's cheaper, and it's disc brakes already, and it has an LSD already.
There's one right. There's one right here.
See, you know.
No, I mean, there's a Toyota 8-inch sitting in my garage.
Oh,
there's also a Toyota.
I'm kind of with AJ on this one. Like Cummins or nothing. You got to roll coal on stage, man.
And then I've got a Toyota 8-inch in the RX-7 too.
All right, you know.
Yeah, no, totally. And Cody still wants the pre-run Volvo. I don't have any Volvos left, man. But anyway,
That's
so
a
no,
problem
like,
that's solvable readily in the Northwest.
Yes.
There's plenty of Volvos around you.
Somebody will
You have
probably give you
$500.
one to get out of their driveway.
yeah, 4-link, straight axle Impreza,
Yeah,
rear wheel
do it.
drive. That was my latest and greatest idea.
That's. I
And-
mean, that was what I was kind of contemplating. Although I was planning with like neither RS2 or R200 rear end and IRS, but
Well, and that's way on the fancier end of things. But I don't like the.
do you see
like
this
the-
hair and this hat? I fancy.
You fancy. Like
Fancy.
the stock rear suspension on the Subaru for rear wheel drive is garbage because it was never intended to be
Yeah,
that
so-
way.
A lot more power.
But I don't know. So that was the latest. So I'm trying to find an Impreza that's essentially garbage. That if it's a complete and utter failure, I can just scrap it out and just be done
Well,
with it.
so why Impreza versus the Forester? Why not the Forester?
I'm not sure.
First gen. You're gonna have so much headroom in that thing.
No, I know. I'm not sure. Because I think it would just kind of fucking look awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying the Forester wouldn't look awesome, but like there would be some chance of it being not slow.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
My problem is like at least in dirt rally, I have tried rear wheel driving again, and I've realized I have completely forgotten how to deal with rear wheel drive. And it's like the last time I drove the Miata in anger, I realized again I don't remember how to drive a rear wheel drive in anger. I only know how to, when in doubt, power out, and that doesn't work so great
Nope.
in rear wheel drive.
No.
That's how I spun going across 26 on the timber road.
Yeah. You own a Forester. Who owns a Forester? Do a Forester. Cody's saying to do that.
Oh, you have a Forester, Matt?
No, I got rid of it. No,
Uh,
it developed a bad drinking problem.
Me
has
too.
anyone done a Forester stage car? I've never seen one.
I don't think
Sure,
so. I
someone
know
has, right?
they did a cross trek in Canada.
There's the Baja that
Ooh.
Van Ways did. There's an Outback Sport that was at
Eh.
Tour de Forest.
That's an Impreza, basically, right?
Okay, so speaking of SUV type things, what are your guys' opinions on the idea of the all-wheel drive turbo Corolla hatchback, and possibly like, I mean, we're not getting the Yaris version, which really disappoints the hell out of me.
Sure.
But like an all-wheel drive Corolla, I also heard possibility of them putting that drivetrain, the 6-speed manual all-wheel drive turbo 3-cylinder, in the Toyota CHR.
Yeah.
And I
heard of
thought, you know, the CHR, like, it does things for me. It makes me feel stuff in like my no-no parts. And
Just
like,
to
in
confirm,
all-
the RSGR that they're bringing over is going to be front wheel drive only, correct?
the what?
They are gonna sell a Yaris GR here, correct? But just a front wheel drive, not the.
I don't think they're going to sell a Yaris GR. I think it's going to be a Corolla GR
right.
hatchback.
Oh.
Who the heck is
It-
Scott Anderson? Scott
then they-
Anderson, the Forester that's caged in nearly.
Scott Anderson
Yeah.
Art, probably the guy who does all the rally
Yeah.
arts.
I didn't know
I
that
mean,
he
I-
runs though.
Scott
Yeah.
Anderson. Wait, no, that's Alderson.
But
Yeah.
no, I was almost thinking like a Toyota CHR with a 6-speed and turbo and all-wheel drive. Like that's got some storage space, some headroom. It's probably heavy as hell. But
You want no turbos, no all-wheel drive. Like it's. I mean,
I want my noise. I want my.
in two-wheel drive and turbo because then you don't have to worry about.
I don't know how to 2-wheel drive, Matt. I forgot.
Yes, you do. I believe in you.
I can front-wheel drive. I don't know how to rear-wheel drive anymore.
No.
I'm scared of when I get my MR2
You-
back on the road. I'm pretty sure it's going to kill me in the first like 50 feet.
I believe in you. You can do it. You'll be fine. But then you don't have
Heard
to
that
worry
before.
about like boost monitoring systems and restrictor plates and
Yep.
God, just like that is a whole different world once you start going into that crap. Like,
It's a lot more fun. Well,
is it?
until it blows up.
It's not more fun. I can
Makes
guarantee.
cooler noises when it blows up.
I mean, like,
I went back and I rewatched the video from when I blew up the GTR.
yeah.
There was no unusual noise. Like you hear the turbo wind up, and then you hear the turbo just spool down, and that was it. Like there was no bang, there was no weird misfire, and the piston just came apart. lots of signs of detonation across all 4 holes, but but there was no weird sound. There was no stumble, no hesitation, no knock. I could tell, and then all of a sudden, just no power, just out of the blue. Pulling up a hill, third gear. I shifted from second to third. I was only running 12 pounds of boost instead of 20, like it was at.
Well,
I'm still mystified. All I can think of is the big change I made before the test day in 2017 was I rewired the fuel pumps, and I discovered that the transfer pump wasn't running, which caused me to almost DNF Idaho back in 2013. When the transfer pump wasn't running. That was the one where Jason and I were in the car, and if we made a left turn, the car would run. Or no, sorry, if we made a left turn, the car would stall. If we made a right turn, the car would run. Because the fuel would fly over the hump, get some fuel for the pump, and then it would slosh the other way, and then we'd have no fuel because the transfer pump wasn't running. So I rewired it, and then afterwards, I went and I looked, and there were like, I don't want to say anything ill about the previous owners, because there have been multiple owners of that white car. But between the wire that feeds the fuel pump and the fuel pump, there were like 14 splices and 6 different gauges of wire.
Wow.
Perfect. Lots of fuses.
Blade connectors, butt crimps, and because the transfer pump wasn't running, and when I added it to the circuit, I think it was just underpowered, and it probably just went lean on me. Even though I was watching the AFRs and it was fine, I wasn't watching exactly when it happened.
Yeah.
So all I can think of is it went to like 15 or 16 to 1 and went super lean on me or something. But that's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Now I have an expensive white box in my driveway that's covered in a tarp. Well, it's a nice car cover.
I don't know.
That's true. Like, no, Jason makes a point. We did technically DNF Saturday and we super rallied Sunday, but that's what I meant by we kind of DNF'd, because we did finish the event and we did get first in PGT.
Is it sad that I didn't actually know what that whole super rallied thing meant up until recently?
I mean, not really sad.
Just a little.
I will also point out, because Jason mentioned it, he was pushing me really hard to find a 2-door early RAV4 and build that into a rally car. And I started looking underneath them and realized their subframe hangs down below the driveline by like 6 inches.
Well, they are essentially a Celica all-track.
They are?
They share the same transmission. They do.
You could fix the subframe probably.
It's with enough effort, maybe, but
enough grinding.
It was such a beautiful idea, and I got super excited about it. But then I started looking at it and like, oh my god,
those cars look so cool, though. That would be.
They do. We found one at my cousin's wedding. One of the guests was driving a pristine. She has had it since new. Garages it, manual RAV4. 2-door.
2-door. Oh man.
In Toyota Super Red.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So I mean, that kind of,
not white power. That's Italy talking or something.
Yes.
You know, that's the
Forester, like part of the reason why a Forester is just, we'll call it top heavy. It's not, but like something like a RAV4, I think would almost be too top heavy.
Maybe. Yeah.
They're so light though. The first gens are so light.
Well, yeah, but an Impreza could be light.
No, but I mean like they're GTX light.
Oh, well, really?
They're short and small.
Which is why they would make an awesome rally car.
Yeah, at least up there. Yep. Well, maybe not at Oregon.
Yeah, I mean,
a little unstable, maybe.
Well, that's the thing is you stay on the power. That's the whole all-wheel drive thing. Is
that's
when in doubt, keep on the power and left foot brake a little bit and
no tail slappers.
Yeah, and actually, Jason commented again about Idaho 2013. We did DNF, and some guys in a Bronco without any roll bar or anything came terrassing up stage about 2 hours after the end of the stage, I think, and brought us some fuel. In the interim, our service crew had heard that we had crashed. We were on fire. We were upside down in a ditch. We had just run out of gas, and they didn't know what to think. And like Jason's wife was freaking out, my wife was freaking out, and we're just fine. We're standing there watching rally cars go by and flipping people the birds and stuff as we're standing on the shoulder road. But they're pretty sure that we're on fire and dead somewhere because they never communicated that. No, they're okay. They're just out of gas.
So they're listed as 2,500 to 3,100 pounds.
Wow.
So about Cody Crawford weight.
I don't know. Yeah, but see, then it's all-wheel drive, and then
You're the only person who doesn't like all-wheel drive.
no, it's because I started in all-wheel drive, and I thought that was the magical place to be, and then I bought the truck, and then I was,
but that's the truck.
Well, but then the RX-7, and then the RX-7, and
And this other RX-7.
Well, I guess
truck. The truck.
But the truck.
Not the truck.
The truck's amazing.
Like, biggest mistake ever was selling the truck.
Mhm.
Yes, I agree.
Twice, right?
Yes, I sold it twice.
Oh my god!
I still remember I wanted to buy the 7, the Doug's old car.
Yep.
And you sold it out from under me to Stadel.
Probably
Because I waited too long to get back to you to say that I wanted it.
Well, he was driving out from Idaho. Yeah.
Unforgivable.
No, what I need to do is just build another truck and just be happy with it. But if I don't try this Impreza idea, it's always going to linger in the back of my mind whether it would have worked.
I want to build a little T100 with a 2GR and all-wheel drive. That would be so fun. It's a rally truck, but 4-wheel drive with a proper gearbox. Is that a T100 out there?
No, it's a Mazda B2300.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the
that's-
newer one with the Duratec.
That's a car with a truck bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But it's a Duratec. Where are you guys at? There you are.
No, I want a T100 all-wheel drive 2GR V6. It'd be fun.
But I'm talking realistic.
Are you really?
Solid axle Subaru.
Matt, remember the comment we had about drugs before? I think you need to lay off of those and put more money into rally and less money into drugs.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I know, straight axle. So the monster back here. So I run an EJ22 out of a Subaru Legacy in it with a Toyota tranny, a Toyota rear end, and all sorts of things. So yeah, I'm cool with the idea of the Impreza straight axle swap. That's easy in the sense I don't have to do engine. Like the BRZ transmission, you just have to hack a corner out of the engine and it fits. Yeah, that's easy.
Yep. Saws some link boxes in there, done.
Yep, exactly.
Wait, did you say cut a corner off the engine?
Yeah, you have to make a notch out of the bell housing on the engine to clear.
Well, that's that. I thought you were
Okay.
talking about actually having to cut and weld some jacket or something.
No, it's the same bolt pattern.
Because that was when I was looking at somebody who was talking about doing the Evo swap into a GTX and oh yeah, you have to just grind a chunk off the block. It's fine.
No big deal.
Whatever.
No, that is a 4G63. It could probably handle it.
It's
Well, this was for using the B6T, or no, sorry, I think it was a BPT on an Evo gearbox with a bell housing adapter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And nothing lines up right because you're making
why would
Frankenstein
it?
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I don't think Mazda and Mitsubishi ever really planned to make those two things fit together.
I don't know, man.
I mean, there is Mitsubishi wiring and the really crazy ass knock sensor setup they had in the 1.6s. Matt's probably got the box
I
sitting
don't
over
think
there
I
somewhere.
haven't.
Yeah.
I think I described it last show, the weirdness of this little fork thing where the Hall effect sensor is, the reluctor between it, but then that plate can turn, but then they can also change the capacitance or something of the Hall sensor to virtually advance and retard timing based on knock and.
Oh God.
that sounds.
Mine's zip tied in here.
Well, that's the new
Oh,
knock
there.
box.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
It's
the
been
one
so
off
long
of the
since I've seen
BP.
a stock car.
The one off of the 1.6 is the size of a small child.
Okay.
It sits over on the
It's been a
passenger
while
side
since
fender
I've seen
well,
a
and it's
stock
this
car,
box
so I
that's
don't
probably
remember.
6x4x4 or something like that. It's this big rectangular box, and all it does is connect to a knock sensor and the coil, and that's it. And if
Yeah.
they go wrong, your car quits, and you can't find them,
Yep.
and there's no way to make it work without it.
There's probably one over there.
There's 4 over on the other side of this wall.
somewhere in that mess.
This is the stereotypical GTX thing. Is we have so many spare parts to keep our car running that we could build a small army of GT. Wow, that's a lot of tires. That looks like my storage unit.
Those are the snow tires for the 3 cars.
Oh, okay. I've got.
That's not that big a deal.
I think I got 12 or 14 braids from Phil with my car,
Yeah.
and I've also got that whole set of 5 of the Team Dynamics. I think they're Team Dynamics.
Those
that I
are
bought from Al.
the Rod Millen Aero Panda Sports.
Oh, you fancy.
Hey,
Although
guys-
you can't get tires for them anymore because they're all 14s.
Those are 15s.
Miller ran 15s. I thought he only ran 14s.
They made 15s though. That were GTX sized.
The era, yeah.
you guys live in collecting like the fancy bits.
I mean, that's the whole joy of GTXs is when you can be like, I've got this one part that nobody else has. I was like,
I
when,
have several of those. Yeah.
yeah. When I was still backed by Mazda Speed before they discontinued the rally program, like at one point I went to go buy on Subarus. You have some people call it the bitch bolt or the bolt from hell. It's the one that goes between the lateral links and the bottom of the knuckle, and it's just all through everything. The GTXs have those too, and when I was needing a new one because one of mine was totally seized and rusted in place, I looked, and in the Mazda catalog they said they had 12. And I talked to my local dealership. They wanted $97 a bolt. Their cost was like, they said 70. My price through Mazda Speed Motorsports was $12.
Yeah.
So I bought every one they had
Mazda
in
Speed
stock.
Motorsports is crazy.
There's a whole bunch of different bolts like that, like the strut to knuckle bolts. I bought every bolt that Mazda Worldwide had in stock. I bought every lateral link bolt they had in stock. I bought every subframe bolt they had in stock. So I have Mazda's warehouse in my garage.
Yeah. That's what some of that stuff is too, like brand new in bag Mazda part number bolts.
Yep.
Man.
Because when I bought the car that I'm sitting in the motor for, I was just given a pallet of stuff.
Like
I'd
you
rather-
expect from Derek.
Tercel
Right.
before doing that.
Sorry.
I
You were
said I'd
breaking up.
just go collect a bunch of Tercels before getting into the GTX.
Oh yeah.
Well,
the
yeah,
GTXs
it's
are
a
cooler
special
though.
flavor of masochism to do the GTX. Like you have to fully commit. This
Yes.
is like Jason Bourne level. Like, do you fully commit to the program stuff? Like,
Yeah.
But it's worth it. They're
Yeah, so
super
that
cool.
that
So,
pile of spares is only a small portion of what I actually have. I've got 2 cars in storage at my dad's old property that are also both full of spares.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
and almost none of the parts I can use anymore.
Right? Yeah, they're almost
Like,
all
I-
1.6 liter shit.
I think I've got like 12 or 14 knuckles, and the car has none of those knuckles left on it anymore. So I need to start liquidating those.
Yeah.
Jeez.
God, guys.
I need to step it up.
Well, if anyone ever finds Protege rear knuckles, I will pay whatever you charge for them because I need another set of them because I only have the one set that's on the car, and it's the only rare part anymore besides the GTR drivetrain are the Protege rear knuckles. Otherwise, it's like Speed 3 front knuckles, 626 control arms, 929 bearings, but that rear set of Protege knuckles is the rare key to make it work.
Wow.
Right.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I haven't found a set yet, but I haven't
Yeah.
looked very hard.
Steve, do you have any problems finding your Ford 88?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. I had to choose between, I think, 7 or 8 Explorers at the junkyard, and I just picked the lowest mileage one.
I remember the last time I saw a GTX in a junkyard.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen one.
Not counting your yard, Matt.
junkyard, not
That would be 5. I've seen 5 that case. I've seen 1 actually GTX in a junkyard.
Wow. Well, there might be another one in the next 6 months or so. Although it's probably just going to go to Bob's and get squished.
Oh,
That's
No,
where
it's
my
buy it from you.
ruined
The
shell
cage-
is going.
The cage, like, in order to make the car legal again, you can't just upgrade the cage. Like, the cage has to come out anyway. And if you look at the floor pan or the firewall or the subframe or name a part of that car besides, like, the gauge cluster, it needs to be burned in a fire.
Oh.
Well, then burn it in the fire. But you should go do something with it. Any of them.
I know.
Get
I'm a
off your-
terrible rally car owner. I have
No,
neglected my
Don't
cars.
think of them as rally cars. Just think of them as regular cars. You do well with your STI, and so just think of it as something.
Yeah, but
that
there's a cream for that.
Oh, that's true.
Sorry, that joke never gets old.
It really doesn't.
I work in healthcare, and whenever somebody's like, "Oh, what are you driving?" I'm like, "Oh, an STI." They're like, "How do you drive that?"
You mean you drive with that?
Do you need a special pad?
Oh.
All right. Well, all right. Okay, we're at like an hour and a half.
All right. I'll concede now, and I won't make you stick around any longer.
You're the pretty one out of all of us.
This is the only social interaction
It's
I
very
get
true.
in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it's been.
like here half the time I don't even like last week I don't do the I don't know, like I dropped off drastically in doing these we'll just say like mental, I don't know, I'm not doing well with the
Your mental health is important, Matt, and if you need to take a break, that is your prerogative, and none of us will judge you for it. But at the same time, we all love being here and seeing your majestic bearded face and your weird ass banana of a car.
I believe when you say that, Dylan.
You should.
No, I know, I do. I mean, there was this.
Do I need to come co-drive for you the way that I co-drive for Matt?
Seriously, like I think you
very
co-drive,
soothing,
but
very soothing.
I do have a new co-driver that's gonna come ride with me at.
I'm the wrong person to teach the technical aspects, but I can at least teach you how to, be a supportive co-driver. I've learned that much. I still have no idea what the hell I'm doing the rest of the time, but
No, I'm good. You don't need to send me random shit from Amazon. No, like,
other Matt. He wants that Matt to answer his question about when he can come pick up a shell.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is why a show
I've
of
got a
Side note,
work.
This is why I think you have an
Yes.
all Matt show.
Clown 2 rally car and an Alpha Milano rally car, both great ideas. Totally
Oh.
on board.
Oh,
I have the same co-driver is hopefully going to ride with me at the test day. If not, I'm going to shove my son in the car and he will.
you will learn quickly.
No, he's
Yep.
one of these kids. Like he's 15 years old. He has no interest in getting his permit, and he I don't know. Like, Dad works on a car all the time. Yet I just want to sit on my butt. But he was going to do the Oregon Trail test day thing that they were going to do with me, and then all hell broke loose. And so if she doesn't end up doing the test day with me, I'm going to shove him in the car just to go.
It's a solid plan.
So, yeah. Yeah, no, I love you all. Even you, Steve. You seem super rad. I
love your car, if nothing else.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
And
Really.
your stick-to-itiveness of it, like that embodies the spirit of rally. The
Yeah.
willingness to turn anything and everything into a working part. Like,
Can't stop
you got
now.
a beer can? Fuck it, it's now an exhaust seal. Whatever you got to do to make the car run.
right.
Which I did. I ripped the exhaust hanger off of my downpipe and I fixed it with some hose clamps and a beer can.
Yep.
We put Cody's skid plate back on with a ratchet strap. I think he's actually still does that.
Jordan Guitar made a ratchet strap engine mount in the Fit at Rally Colorado like 4 years ago
Damn.
because the torsion or the torque rod broke in half because it always does. It's plastic. So yeah, I don't think he finished, but he got it back to service.
Wait, but you're a fabricator, right? So wouldn't you just make one that isn't plastic?
Yeah, well, that was the Honda Rally team. It's tough. We're not allowed to weld in our shop. Like it's OSHA. We have to follow all the rules, right? Because it's a company. So it's really hard to actually get anything done, like real.
Okay.
Interesting.
So it was a pain. It's much easier
I'm
now.
just over here welding in my underwear.
Yeah, exactly.
That explains the
Door
smell.
handles.
All right, we're gonna call it, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone, for coming and hanging
Thanks, man.
out, and everybody in the chats. Thanks for making life better.
You're all amazing. I'm so glad you're all here, and I'm sorry that we're stuck and can't go racing, but I appreciate you all.
Yeah, seriously. All right. Peace out.
Sweet.